Hi all. I have a game here today, and it was provided to me by Rhinoceros, and the setup is Frontier Justice 2.0, and this game is a prime example of why I dislike it, coincidentally. So let's take a look. Night 1, we have a normal, it appears as though they aren't using any gambits or anything too out of the ordinary. Janitor's just going to claim if blue was jammed, and that's all. So, day 1, we have Sheriff Jan Night 1, so town is immediately at a huge disadvantage. They have to battle through not one, not two, but three Milo situations to win the game. So back to back to back Milo. And that's one reason why I just completely despise this setup. The Night 1 roulette factor coming into play. So let's see what's happening in the game. So Albert Wesker opens with his guilty, which is a good thing to do. And no one CCing here. So let's see here. Cash claims the journalist. Um, let's just see if anyone else CC's Cash. Doesn't appear that the journ is CCing. So yeah, I don't see any journ claim. Uh, yeah. Okay. So that's that. Just pretty much auto lawyer lunch and Cash. It's not Wi-Fi. I think he actually thinks his partners aren't good enough to follow the proper line here in this game, so he's just giving them instructions. Anyone who thinks this is Wi-Fi is, I don't know. I mean, it's a decent idea, but he wouldn't. Cash probably wouldn't do this, being as experienced as he is, unless his partners are actually not that good. So, or at least he thinks they're not that good. So there's a code there. My journ read is the person whose name starts with the last letter in timestamp 124. So he thinks the last letter in timestamp 124. So where's 124? So he thinks. So Cash made a huge error here, and basically what he did was use a code that refers to two people at the same time. As both start with the last letter, the letter S. So unless this was intentional, and I don't know why it would be, absolutely bonehead move, straight up. So anyway, Albert the cop dies, which is what should happen, and cop dies. Journalist gets a report, and the journalist gets an innocent on themselves because the journalist was checked. Journalists should have counterclaimed for two reasons. One, so that they don't get checked, and so they look legit. Sometimes if it looks like a fake journalist can always just say that they checked them, the cop checked them. But I know in this case the sheriff's Jan and everyone knows that. But in other cases, it's always bad to check your journalists for those two reasons. So now there's no reports, and yes, the guilty report's dead, and the innocent report is the journalist. So now the journalist is pretty much leading this game. So we see Stiffy's lynched, but who led on Stiffy? Not Shaddox, that's for sure. It appears as though Shaddox did nothing because it was kicked, and this game ended in a blitz. So, without even reading anything, I can definitely assume that this is awful play by the clear. Quickly checking for clear play, and I do see Stiffy and Van telling right off the bat. That's what I do see. And Rhinoceros is alright. I don't even think Zero is really telling, honestly. I want to quickly check Zero for bonus statistics. So we have a terrible town rate and a decent Mafia win rate. So you expect better play if they're Mafia. Their play looks pretty lackluster. It's these 5 lines here, 2004 to 2016. I don't see. Well, like if there's reasoning behind it, then maybe it's all right. Okay, so some okay reasoning here. Yeah. Well, never mind. I misread it. That makes no sense at all. So, not making any sense at all with these 2 lines. I thought this said today. That's why I was confused. So he's contradicting himself in these 2 lines, and I feel like he has done less. It seems shifty to me. This isn't very good town play, but then again, we should expect better if this user is Mafia. Still, it's pretty bad, and the town read on Brenda is misplaced. I haven't seen Brenda do many town things this game, just from scrolling, skimming the game, just basic observations, half committing to reads, just answering whatever is there to answer without really expanding on anything. Things like this. Things like this. Just changing subjects over and over again. Usually when someone's changing subjects really quickly, like every 1 or 2 lines, they're Mafia because they don't know where to fit in and they look awkward. So that's just my take on this day, and also a very bad opening here. It's late. It's not followed up by anything. Looks awkward. It seems as though they just want to say something so that they don't get suspected right off the bat. Brenda is rather scummy today. So let's check day 1. Okay. This looks null for now. What happened? Nothing in the pregame. No. Yeah, it's weird. I don't really understand this. Anyway. Zero Pheromone opening with non-game related material might be a little towny. There's nothing though. They're not participating at all. Until this point, it's really insufficient participation or just active filler. Basic observations. Awful play. I don't really blame anyone who scum read Zero Pheromone in this game, because again, not many people check statistics, and even then, they don't give away as much as I would like them to. So we still have Brenda kind of just floating around. Brenda DS floating. Delayed start. Stuff like this. That's her whole game. That's her entire game. I should just quickly. I'm assuming it's a girl. Her name's Brenda. Uh, yeah, just it's a pretty bad game from Brenda Diaz. I want to check Brenda statistics. Yeah, it's just checking this completely reinforces my read or my reasoning right now. So if I'm in this game, I'm auto listing Brenda even day one. If I see this along with this terrible play I'm seeing here, it's a mystery how Brenda was town read by anyone and how Brenda lived through day one and day two. Stiffy is definitely contributing more than anyone else in the Blues other than Band, and Stiffy is interacting with your Furbone at the start of this day. No. If Stiffy expanded on this, I think they'd be well leaning town. Giving a read as town without explaining it gives a chance for both Mafia to team up on you and press you. I think um, someone was pausing. Well, Stiffy ended up being lynched, so Mafia definitely took advantage. Uh, and and Brenda both voting. Rhinoceros and Brenda both voting Stiffy. So this game is just unfortunate because Zero Furbone ended up lynching properly, but this is just I don't get it. Brenda is town. Well, okay. Well, Brenda voted after the. Sorry, Zero Furbone voted Brenda after the blitz. So this vote means absolutely nothing in regards to what they did in the game. Don't believe Zero Furbone voted Brenda at any other point as well. So after Stiffy's lynch, the game's over. And this game is just a sad example of the clear being just very bad. Not participating very much at all. Day two. Um, not even leading on the lynch. Taking advantage of one vote. Mafia took advantage of one vote. That's all I need in the Lilo's. One incorrect vote after the time's up to blitz on. And since Brenda was already voting, the kick was there. Or it appears Rhino kicked. But the kick was there, and nonetheless, after both Mafia had voted and Town were, at that point, had lost the game. So, things to learn from this game is, if you're a clear, you have to participate and do better, and lead the village rather than just let Mafia steamroll your entire team. You're in charge as a clear. Take control of the town and read and do whatever you can. Question, do whatever you have to, and try and get that win. It's your job. You're clear. You're the one that the town trusts. And Stiffy not fully explaining the scum read on Brenda also was not helpful for their situation. If Stiffy explained the reads a little more, maybe they would have been better off and regarded as town. The random read on Band here, the scum read, well, it caused Band to vote Stiffy at the end of the day. Didn't really give a reason, but Stiffy didn't do their best to, well, maybe they did, but they didn't look totally town, in my opinion. So just because of that, I don't really think that all these two things combined, just the clear being bad and Stiffy not explaining the reads, Zero Furbone town reading the other Mafia as well. It was a messy game, and Band also not it's technically an OMGUS, but OMGUS, but the Foz on Stiffy was there, so we had two towns Fozzing each other, and one town reading the Mafia, and Clear who didn't really participate all that much. So this was a very easy Mafia win in my opinion, and some things to learn what not to do as Town in this game. That's all for now. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks very much.